So therefore, I believe this is the truthful, even those animals. This is my case, not very sincere. Just I want to see some more reward. Reward. I think my sort of the monks or official, I think without that, simply, you see, the taking sort of showing kindness. So that animal, poor animal, also have some ability to know who's very sincere, who not very, in spite of Dalai Lama, not very sincere. So I think our daily conduct in every field, honest, truthful, I think very important.
But if I try to link that with what countries do, what governments do, and you said honesty, truthfulness, no hypocrisy. But when we look at globalization, if you look at the lack of coherence between the fact that rich countries do provide development assistance to poor countries, including this country, but then on the trade side, they keep trade barriers and they have subsidies on cotton, for example, which affects West Africa and other parts and Asia, or sugar by the European Union. So is that the kind of honesty and lack of hypocrisy in relations?
Here one thing, of course, according to my little experience and observation, now today's the reality of our planet, very much heavily interdependent. An economy, environment, and many fields. So I often is telling or expressing to public sort of talk, the concept of we and they, according new reality, no longer there. Entire world should be part of we. In ancient time, yes, isolated, and interest also exists because of that. Quite independent. So at that time, the concept of we and they very much sort of relevant. And with that, even warfare, destruction of other is victory of yourself. But now, today, the reality, every nation, every country, interdependent, interconnected. So one's own future, so that entirely depend on the rest of the world. The United States, biggest nation, most powerful economically. You see, your own sort of future depend on the rest of the world. So that's the reality. So therefore, treat other as a part of yourself. So here we need concept of oneness of humanity, world. And that I always talking. And we need sense of global responsibility. So long, in deep insight, I think the concept of we and they, and then some problems. And here I think the gap, the reality, and our perception. We still carry the century-old our perception. Our interest is something independent, something separate. So the reality, no longer that. This I feel.
Well, can I ask you, Your Holiness, how you apply this thinking about a oneness, about this incredible interconnectedness, interdependence, to the challenge of climate change, of global warming? And some of us are thinking about a concept of climate justice and equity, because a lot of the greenhouse gas emissions have come from lifestyles in this part of the world, affecting, and we do a lot of work in Africa, particularly African countries.
Yes.
And the whole continent of Africa is responsible for less than 4% of these greenhouse gas emissions, but they are badly affected. How do we evolve a fair, equitable way of addressing that?
That's unjust. Now here, I don't know. Of course, I don't know. I think instead of asking me, I think you should explain.
You're not supposed to say. You're not supposed to say you don't know.
It is my freedom. And not only freedom, but also, you see, honestly. Yes. Although I have the name of Tamjay Khyamba, what to call?
In Tibetan, one of the Tibetan titles referred to the Dalai Lama as all-knowing.
Oh, but that is just like a poem. The reality, my knowledge is very limited, like that. So here, firstly, there is a gap, rich and poor. It's also very, very serious, global level and also national level. Like United States, many occasions I'm expressing the richest country, yet some pocket, very poor people still remain there. And then the richer people, richer family, their lifestyle is much sort of luxurious and own, I think, several cars and several houses. Winter time go south, right? Summertime go north, and also is touring in different countries. The poor people, even sometimes no house, very poor. And that is not only morally wrong, but practically also source of problem. The poorest section of people always some kind of feeling of frustration. The frustration transforms anger. Anger then transformed in action of violence. So very bad. So therefore, we have to think seriously how to reduce. Then, I think immediate possibility is the poorer section of the people, get them skills through education, and one most important, give them self-confidence. They also can be like other